Good morning. Actually, it's afternoon because it's noontime. Yes, this is Judy Allen from San Antonio, Texas. And I did change the time from 10 a.m. to noontime. I think it's going to work a little bit better for me and hopefully for you too. So I don't do a scramble in the morning time because things always seem to happen, even though I'm a morning person. So I have to be ready to deal with that and continue on. So that's always a challenge. But anyway, today we're doing the Gingerbread Peppermint Suite, and it's a suite and there's a lot of stuff in it, and I'm not going to be able to cover it all in today, but I did have some requests of some things to do, so I'm going to do some of those, at least one of them for sure. I like the person requested, and we'll see about the others and see what they think about it. It'll be similar but not exactly the same. But with this suite, there's so many. The paper itself is just beautiful, and let's see if we're still going live. Still says I'm going live. I'm not sure. Okay, what's going on there? But anyway, just show that we cut out. Anyway, so there's a lot between the paper itself is absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to show that to you, and I'm going to show you what I did today. You won't see every little thing because it's a lot of things that are going on that I've done. So I'm going to capture the essence of it, and I'll most probably do totally separate video that I'll just post on YouTube with some of the other stuff so that we can sort of get more of it in there. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started with the hand so I can show you some of the stuff because there's just a lot of stuff. Alright, so as you look down at the hands here, this is the paper, this is the actual die stamp. So you see we've got quite different stamps here, and then we have quite a number of die. And you can see here, and I'm going to show you some of this. You'll see it in the stuff that I've already cut out. But there is just a number of die here. And then the thing is that the beauty of these dies is that not only can you cut out paper with this, but you can actually take the paper itself. And I'm trying to find one real quick for us. I'll take this one for example then. Let me pull this one. This paper right here, for example, I can actually take the star. So you've got two different things here in the die set, which is pretty cool. Now you'll see it as I go through it. So I've got two things that I can cut out. So I've got the actual outline and what's going to, or the color that I want to show underneath with this, that'll be cut out and be the color on top. And you can see it as we make the cards. But this is what I want to show you here. Is these outer dies here is literally you can place them on the paper and cut that star out. Or not this one, you'd have to plastic up. This one you can. There's more that you can. But I want to show you that because it does make it easier to do some of this, just depending on what you want to do. But there's a lot of choices, and I'm going to show you just for the paper alone. So I'm going to set this aside because we're not going to use this because I've already got my stamps set up and I've already got the stuff die cutted that I'm going to die cut. But I just wanted to show you that on the back of these papers, they always tell you suggested colors. Now I'm moving it really close so you can see it. So they show you here, they got cinnamon cider, early espresso, old olive, and real red. Okay, and these are those papers. So when they sit there and give you this suggestion, those are their suggested colors. And see here, here's those colors. So they are suggested colors that you may use. You may choose your own colors as well too, but that is the beauty of it all, is they always at least sit up there and tell you some colors and suggest some colors for you to use. Now I'm going to show you why this is such a choice decision, because I want to show you all the papers. This is all the different design papers. So when someone asked me today and they had certain things they requested, which is fine. I love it. I love it when you ask, say, hey, could you create this, or could you show how to create that? I love that. It's always a challenge. It's whether or not I case something. If it's wanting me to case something from the catalog, I can do that. If it's something somebody else created, I got a request for that too. Somebody else created, it's like, can you show us how to create that? I said, sure. It's not going to be today, but I can't do it another day. But I just want to show you, this is all the paper, like that little thing I showed you a while ago. All this paper is in this little pack, all these different designs. So you have lots of choices, and even for myself, I mean, doing the stuff for today, it's like, wow, I had to really think about what I want to do because I had so many choices. Will I use all this paper? Yeah. I like gingerbread. I've made gingerbread houses a number of years for the grandkids and for ourselves here at the house with the kiddos. So this is just right up my alley with the gingerbread stuff. But some of the things just to get me started, just so I know, is I for example, stamped out just so I can see what the stamps look like. So it gives me a feeling and idea what they was going to look like before I even started. Another thing that I used as well is I actually have these little cheat sheet notes, and I'm actually just going to do this on YouTube. I use these, they're just little templates I put in different sizes. So if I'm not sure what size of paper I want, I just sort of lay these down. So give me an idea. And then that way I know what my paper's going to do. And I'll show you when we go to do one of the cards we're making, I'll show you that where I use the template at. Okay. So the first request I had for today was, and here's the catalog, wanted me to do this card right here. So this is what we're going to do. I don't know if I got exactly the same colors as what they've got there, but I have choices, and I'll show you my choices I pulled. Ink looks like I'm feeling them. Alright, so actually these are the three choices. This is the one that recommended and suggested. And then I actually pulled this because the suite also has where you've got this craft paper as well too that you can use. And then this is just actually another color that I picked out that I wanted to use. So I went ahead and I had choices. So both of these I were able to die cut out of the paper. And as you can see, if you looked in the catalog, this is the one they used. And I'll just give you so you can see what the difference looks like. So this is what, usually what I do when I go and I create, I just sort of look at my choices. And I really like this with the green. And I really like that with the red too. So I'm just going to set these two aside. And I have a tag that's set aside also. So I am going to go ahead and go with this one here. Now, it depends. I want to stamp this. So they actually stamped. And I'm looking for my stamp. Let's see here. So they actually stamped this. And this is actually going to be a little bit bigger than my standard 3x3. I just had some paper that was already cut and ready to go. And it wasn't a 3x3. It's actually more of a 2 3/4 by 3 1/4. So you know what? We're just going to live with it though. And I decided I'm just going to make that size card. It'll work. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get this stamp and ink anyway, and we're going to stamp like they did. So all they've done, and I do have it, okay, good. So actually they've taken this long, and this is long. I wouldn't want you thinking, yes, this is long. And I actually have a block that's long. I'd already put something on it, but I'll just put this at the bottom. And so occasionally you do need the long ones here for something like this. And I had already put stamps on the other side because it's like I can put 2 stamps on there, make it easier. So all I'm going to do, if I do what they did here in the design, is I'm just going to take this here and I'm going to stamp across. And because this is big enough, you can see that I can easily stamp across. So that's all I'm going to do. And I'm not worried about if I hit the paper or not. The bottom line is, it was just, okay, now see that one didn't stamp very good. Let me get my cleaner here. Stamp cleaner. Alright, that's okay. I can flip this over, and the other thing is you have to make a decision. Do you like it that dark? And I really was hoping for a more subtle look on that. And before I go and do it, I'm just going to stamp a couple more times, and I'm going to sort of stamp off and see what it looks like now. Okay, that's really sort of the look I wanted. And for some reason, I got a portion of that I'm just not picking up. Okay, let me go and see. I'm not inking it right or something. All right, I'm just going to flip it over the other way. Not sure what's going on there, but I'm not going to worry about it. All right, so I'm thinking that I really like the stamp off once and then coming over here and stamping. Let's see here. Okay, and but for whatever reason, I'm not putting my pressure. Maybe I just need a bit more pressure. Alright, well, I'm glad I can flip this over and show you as an example. Then I can flip and do this again on the other side, and we'll get it right. Okay, so I'm just going to have to put a little bit more pressure on that other side. For a reason, I'm just not giving enough pressure. But you see, if I put enough pressure, then it gets it all right. So I think that's what they were liking. It's really liking the look of this here where you do that stamping off, and it does have a really nice look. And I don't really have to do it that way. If I want to, I can do it this way. So let's just go ahead and do that. I'm just going to stamp across. Maybe I'm not getting enough ink on here. I'm not sure. Okay, we'll see. And I'm just going to try to get it. Okay, there you go. Alright, I just had to hold my mouth and stand right and all that kind of stuff. Alright, so let's see here. That one, you know what, I can see the extra ink there already that I don't want. Alright, so you know what, you see something like that, just go ahead and clean it off. For whatever reason, I got a glob of, I got something in there is what it was. Maybe that's what the issue was, I didn't see it. Alright. We'll see what we do now. Alright, so I'm going to just stamp off. And then I'm going to turn around here. So all I'm doing is I'm just going to get this all the way across. Because that's basically what they did. You're just getting the whole gingerbread looking effect. You know, they even have a shimmering paste. That that I actually have. We won't be using it today. But they've actually got... what would I call it? Well, it's easy to make it use as snow if you wanted to. You could even make it look like icing if you wanted to. It's got a nice little shimmer in it and all. It makes it sparkly. I was trying to think of the other thing that was... There's another thing. It'll come to me in a little bit. Anyway, and I'll tell you then. So now at this point, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you. This is... I just showed you this here. So we have to make a decision if we're going to want to put this one here or this one. Or in my particular case, I could put both. I may put both. I can put both. Let's go ahead and just put both. So I'm going to put them on with dimensionals. And then what I'm going to do is there's these nice little acrylic shapes that came with the suite that you can use, which is really cool. Always like little gadget stuff like that. And we're going to put some of those on here. Okay. So actually, so this is going to be a little different than what's in the book, which is fine. I'm just adding an extra cutout. Looks like a cookie. Okay, and then we have these right here. So we got simple stamping. This is just a die cut out, and that's all there was. And then we'll actually stamp the tag. And actually, they used Merry Christmas. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that right now so I can show you how that's done, because the stamp actually says, wishing you a Merry Christmas. So we are going to sit up here and use just the Merry Christmas part. And I'm just going to carefully ink this. Let's see if I want to do it this way instead. I have choices. I'm going to go this way. This is what I do on paper pumpkin. With these little ink spots, that's easy. If I had a regular size ink pad and I was doing this, I would most probably use a post-it note to cover this so I don't do this. I see now you can see through there. So that's the nice thing about these. I can already see that I set up there and did get some red on there, and I'm looking for a piece of scrap paper. I'm just gonna, not really a scrap paper, but I'm gonna use it anyway. Alright, so I'm just gonna stick this here. So when I stamp this, the goal is I'm just gonna get Merry Christmas on here. I can see that I got it on the other part of the stamp. See? So I got that off. Whoop, whoop. That's it. And that's the way it's supposed to work. Okay. So now that I have my tag, I can put my tag anywhere that I want. So I'm just going to sort of size it down. And the reason for that is I'm going to use this other stuff. It's acrylic, but I still call it bling or embellishments. Bling is usually what I use for the grandkids and all. We always like bling. It's just a different type of bling. It's not sparkly and shiny, but it's really cool anyway. I can assure you, if any of those princesses were around they would claim it. And Nana wouldn't have it anymore. So I am just going to sit up here and do this. Then we'll have our tag done. You know, and if I wanted to add another color behind it, I could, like a green. I could. I didn't plan on that because I really was going to use just one, but I decided to use two. All right, let's look at this acrylic stuff here. Now, you will have to glue this down, because this does not have adhesive on the back of it, but it goes so well with this. So when you look at this right here, if I did like the catalog had it, I would sit there and I would place this here. And I would turn around and use, let's see here, one of these here. So you're just basically sort of spreading them around in the intervals right here. Now that one's a little long, so you know what, I'm just going to put it over here for the moment because we'll use a shorter one. If I have to move it around, I just move it around. So this is all that they've done. They've just taken these and just alternated between this one and the long one and put them on here. Now I'm not going to sit here and glue this right here now, but I just want to show you some of the different choices that you have. Now I could have just as easily put this in here, but I'm not because it doesn't really look this well nice. But these do. These look really nice to rotate through. Okay. So you get the idea. So all we would do this is there's two ways you can do it. I personally would use this. This has got a nice little fine tip on it. And let's see if you can see that. It looks like a very fine pin. And then I would just put some glue. It's glue. It's basically what it is. You don't have to put too much. That one squeezed out a little bit further than I thought. But it dries clear, so I would just put that on there and let it dry. Same thing here. Put this on here, it does really good. I do have another type of glue. Usually I'm very good with this one, especially on fine stuff like this. The other option you have, I'll show you. Just depends what you're comfortable with. This here also is a very good glue. I use it for a lot of things. But you can see the head of it is a little bit bigger when it squeezes out and all. So I really use, for something like this, I'd use this, the other one here with this finer tip. So it really doesn't take that long for it to dry. But I want to leave that there right now for the moment. And I want to move on because some of the other stuff takes a little bit more time and I want you to be able to see the stuff here. But if you're out there and you're with me live, if you would just say hello. And I would like to be able to say hello back to you. So if you would just say hello and I'll try to say hello back, alright? See if I can find my mouse. I like that so I can be able to see you when you comment and everything, and also I can be able to respond back to you. Alright, like I said, we would put our Merry Christmas right here. I'm not going to do that at the moment because I'm going to come back later and put these on here. But I just want to at least give you an idea so you can see how you can make this very simple little card. And this is a it's a little bit bigger than 3x3. I just used leftover paper. And again, I can put that just as easily right there. I most probably, if I do, would put green behind it. And I'm going to, as we get to the end, if I have some green left over, I'll use it and I'll just come back to this and pop it. Because the reason is that green, and I can show you how that would look, just so you know. So this is what I do many a times when I'm not sure, or like right now when I did it and I thought I was going to be fine with it because I wasn't sure which brown I was going to use. This is all I do. I just come and stick a piece of paper right there and see how I'm going to like it. And you know what? Since I showed you that, I'm just going to go ahead and do it right now. Let me go ahead and stick this down. And I am going to go ahead and do it. Even though I said I was going to move on, I'm changing my mind. Alright, let me go ahead and just put this in. So all I'm going to do is just put the adhesive on here. And then I'm just going to stick it to the green here. And then this is a piece of scrap paper. I had bought it for the other, but I don't know that I really have a piece of scrap. I think I do, but anyway, I'm going to go ahead and show you. So that's all I'm going to do. So since I made that decision, I'm just going to sort of position it so I don't have to do that much fussy cutting around it. And that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to take it, and you're going to see what a difference it is when I just make that small change. Like I said, if you're out there, please say hello. Or if you watch on replay, let me know that you watched on replay. That's always nice to know too. And it's always nice to know what you think, or if you'd like me to demonstrate something else, I can do that as well. I always like doing that, to show you what you want to see, or a technique that you like to see. Let's see here, so you can see this here. Alright, now see how that makes a difference? Just by popping that up. I could just as easily go with it there as I could just go with it here. But I think I'm going to go right over here because I like that a little bit better. And I'm just going to use some small dimensionals now. I have to take into account when I do this that I want to put it up a little bit, and it's going to be over here. So I'm going to put those toward the top so you can see what I mean. Because see, I can't put it down here. If I do, I need to use a regular dimensional there. Just fine. Then I'm just going to put it over here, right? And you can see that. And I can easily pop another one right underneath there. The main thing is I need to position it so that it's going to be right there on that snowflake. That's the key thing. So that I have the height that I'm looking for. Okay? And then all you got to do is just take the... It's no big deal to take it off once you do that. And then I put... Oops! I just turned it wrong. Let's see if I can get that off. Yeah, I can. Okay, thank you. Like, please. I'm not into that today. Alright, so I'm going to come back later and I'll put some more of those back on. But that gives you the idea of what the card's going to look like with the dimensionals. And with the actual... Maybe I didn't put any glue in there and I thought I did. That one's stuck. Okay. So at least you get the idea, and that's what it's going to finish look is going to be, is I'm going to add these on there. But I wanted to show you because those are really nice, and it could go on there very nicely. All right, let's move on to the next card that we have here. Next card that I have here is, they don't have a die cut for it, like they do with the stars and some other stuff you'll see. These are actually Christmas trees, and they do have some stuff in there with the catalog showing the Christmas trees. These you have to fussy cut out. And this is actually paper. I just trimmed this from the paper that I showed you earlier, and these trees are cut out from the same thing as well. This is the real red, one of the colors they suggested. And I'm actually, instead of, I'm going to do something a little different than the request. I'm actually going to put this up here, and then I'm going to arrange my trees with a message down here at the bottom. So I still need a fussy cut one. I fussy cut two already, but I didn't do the third one. It's just a good exercise to practice fussy cutting. And, it's all different for each one of us. Fussy cutting is really normally that you move the paper around. The scissors are just kept in one spot. Like I said before, I'm not sure for me if I do that or not. I just do. And you know what? It's whatever. For me, it's like it's all about having fun and doing what you like to do, and whatever works easiest for you. So while this may work easy for me, it may not work easy for you. But they usually talk about fussy cutting, where you're moving the paper around, the scissors staying in one place. And I think it's just a habit for me that I just have to move my scissors. Left over from sewing. Sewing, I always have to move my scissors. So technically I don't have to move the scissors, but it's just a habit I've gotten into out of sewing and for years. Okay, so that's all we're doing is we're just fussy cutting this. Alright, there's my third tree. Alright, so on this one here that we're stepping up because we're adding paper and some different colors to it, and I'm just going to trim this off. Will I use these last two? I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I'm not going to toss them or anything. I don't know. I'll use them. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them on this one or not. I have my thoughts and ideas. See if you can see them. See, I got one red, one there. But I am going to put this down. I'll go ahead and get this anchored on my paper because this is going to decide where I'm going to put my trees. And you know, you could do it either way. And I'll show you. I'm going to, let's see, make sure I get this centered here because I haven't decided which way for sure that I'm going to go with this because I have choices. I like it when I have choices. But then I do have to make a decision to finish the card though, right? You have to make a decision to finish the card. Oh my gosh. But when you have a lot of choices, sometimes it just, you know what? And here's the deal. If you can't make your mind up, then fine. Make 2 cards. Make them both which way you want it. So you know what? That's where I'm at today. It's like if I'm going to make a decision, and if I'm like, ooh, I don't know. Well, guess what? I'm just going to go make another card later and turn it the other way. All right? So the question is, I can either do this card this way, and I can mix my trees up like this, and put my tag down here at the bottom, saying Merry Christmas or what I put, or I can just as easily put my trees this way and put my tag. Now, my tag that I planned on using for this one is you are the icing. I believe it's the one I wanted. Yeah, you're the icing to my gingerbread. So I think that's why I was leaning sort of toward this way. I'm actually going to most likely put these like this and put this one on top. Alright, and let me show you where that tag is, and we can go ahead and stamp it so you can see, because a lot of that is depends and makes a decision of how you're going to do things. So for me with this one here, I really couldn't, when I was putting this all together, I really couldn't decide which one I was going to do, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp them both because I can use it on the other card, but I'll show you. And I couldn't even decide for sure which color I wanted. So I'm going to first start off with real red, so you can see how that looks. I don't know if you can see me inking this or not, but I'm inking. And I'm going to stamp this here. So I already know I have choices, and it was just a question, was this going to be the choice? I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. I'm going to go ahead and try it in the... Did I bring the old olive? I don't think I brought the old olive. I think I brought the cinnamon cider. I didn't bring the old olive color. I'll have to look and see if I have that with my paper pumpkin stuff right handy here. But I just want to show you, because you do have choices, you know, and that's half of it is, you know, it's like, gosh, which one do I want? You know, and I do. I go through that all the time. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't make this decision about what color I want. It's like, well, then stamp them all out, and you can see which color you like the most. All right, so do I like that one better? Oh, I do think I like that better because it goes really, the trees and all. The red goes really good too. So my last one that I think I have handy here, like I said, with my paper pumpkins here. I think it's an old olive. Let's see here. Ooh, that green apple green, that might go good. I'm not seeing old olive in my stacks I have here. Alright, let me try Granny Apple Green. That might be pretty interesting. I do have these in my regular big stamps. This was handy because I had paper pumpkin I was working on. And when I had done all this, I didn't think about different colors beyond the colors I already chose. I have the chocolate brown, but if I did the brown, I would do the cinnamon cider. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and ink this up and see how we like this here. You know, and if you're there, you can let me know. Hi, Lourdes. I'm telling you, I'm ready to bake some cookies too. I think when we do ladies' night out, or else at the retreat, we're going to have some cookies. And I think they're going to have to be some gingerbread cookies like this. Either that, or we'll have to make a house. How about a gingerbread house? I don't know. We have choices. We have choices. All right, so I wasn't overly fond of the red there. So I'm going to just stamp on the back side of where the red's at. because I really like the brown. What do you think, Lourdes? Did you like the brown or the red? I shouldn't say brown. It's really cinnamon cider. But I also, looky, here's the green. I like the green too. So the green, that's candy apple green. So that's not old olive. And here is this one here. Ooh, I sort of like that green. You know what I can do? I'm going to go ahead and use the green. And I tell you what, I am going to use a sponge that I use in Paper Pumpkin. And I'm actually just going to sponge those edges with the cinnamon cider. Let's see how that's going to look for us. And I could bring my cutter. Yeah, I'm just going to cut it. This will be easier for the moment and quicker. Alright, so I've got choices now. So Lourdes, hopefully you're still there and you can tell me what you think. What you're going to like. So I'm just going to cut this off. You know, I can trim it up, make it prettier later or whatever. You like the green? Okay, I like the green too. Now look what I'm going to do with this. I'm going to trim it off and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to sort of round this because I can. If I have to round that a little bit more, I can. But I just want to show you the look and what you can do. Okay? The thing is, if you don't, you can always go back later if you didn't like it and do it over. But I just want to show you what the look will give you. And that's the beauty of this. You can do different things. You can see the colors there. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to go around the edges. I'm not trying to do anything major here. I'm just trying to give a little color to that, to the white edge there, okay? So looky there. So see, it just gives it a little bit more instead of just a plain white, which I have here. So I'm going to use this. And I'm going to use that one right there. So I might trim it a little bit more here because it looks like I wanted a really nice round edge. I could have used a die cut. I have plenty of different die cuts. I could have also fussy cut around here, which would have been just perfect also. But I think I'm good the way I am right now. And I just wanted to make sure I got that edge there. And the sponges are easy to clean. So now I'm just going to sit there and going to put this down with some dimensionals. And then I'm also going to use Wink of Stella on these little stuff right here, just to show you, just to give it a little sparkle. It's not necessary, but I can, so I just want to do that. And we're just getting these on here. These don't have to be like perfect or anything. In fact, I'm just going to offset them so you don't think they have to be perfect, because they don't. Just to let you know, Lourdes, Jennifer's already talked me into pretty much doing jambalaya again, so I told her I'd have to just throw in some gumbo as well, because I want some gumbo. So, there you go. Alright, so we just have to put our tag on, which I'm going to put my dimensionals right here in the middle, so that we can sit there and that's what I just messed up on, and that's fine. I'm going to cover it up. You're not going to even know. Okay? And I'm just going to put it right here. And see, we have a simple stepped up card. We add a little ink to it. We could even add a little red. Let's be cute. Oh, I like these too. I could just as easily add one of these here. I'm just going to give you so you can see what it looks like. So I could just as easily add this right here. And the other thing I could just as easily do, thank you, Lourdes, I could just as easily, what I was thinking about was putting these little, like maybe on one of the top of the trees. That's sort of what I saw when I was doing this. I could put them anywhere else too. When I do something like this, I just sort of wiggle the paper as I go around, so it doesn't look like I have to make a perfect square or anything. I just sort of wiggle it. So it won't be a perfect thing, but it's okay. That's what I don't want it to be, because then people are looking for it to be perfect, and it's like, okay, I'm not sure that I can perfectly cut around something like this. Nor do I have a desire to perfectly cut around something like this, okay? So this, I think I would put, if I wanted to put it anywhere, I might would put it at the top up here. So it looks almost like a star on top of a tree. I don't know, you can tell me. I could just as easily take it and put it here. And put it up on a dimensional, which I really like that. And I could just as easily put it over here. So it's one of those things you decide what you want to do. If I kept with the rule of doing things in odd numbers, I would need to cut one of these out. So I most probably won't try to do that at the moment. But I most definitely will put maybe this right there, where I just showed you last. It would be very easy for me to put it like right here. I'll put another one extra up here. I mean, there's just choices. Now, would I put it here? See, I wouldn't, because it blends too much. Yeah, I like that, Lourdes. Thank you. I do. I think I'm going to just put that right there. You know what? And I can use a miniature dimensional here for that. And that would be an easy thing to fix. And this will be done. And the only thing would be is if you wanted to add some bling. See how easy that is? I just took the leftover paper. I can just as easily put this on here as well too. And I can come back and add it if I want to. But I like that right there because it blends with what I've already created. And there we have it. So the only thing I might would add is a little bling from the actual Wink of Stella. And when I do this, it's just going to put a little shimmer. And you know what? Since I did that there, I'm going to at least do it on the red ones. Be consistent there. Just a little shimmer, not a lot, just enough to say I did it. And this is what I really wanted to do. I just wanted to follow those little ornaments. There's just something that says, follow those little ornaments. Give them some of that bling that you'll see the sparkle on the Christmas trees. Yep. And they even nowadays have it where you can get the silver and stuff and put on your cookies. It's edible. It's just colored candy. That's all it is. Alright, let me just show you so you can see that. You might be able to see that or not, but it's just got enough. There you go. You can see a little bit of shimmer. That's all it does. It just gives it that little bit of shimmer. Alright, that is the end of card number 2. Now, card number 3. Card number 3 has a lot more stuff to it. Okay, so this is what I'm going to show you what we did here. This is the stuff that I got for card number 3. We're going to use the base, and actually a friend of Lourdes's and mine requested this, and I did it a little bit different. But I just want to show you, this is die cut. So when I die cut this, I originally thought it was going to come out attached to this, and it's not. So, but just to go to show you, this is what's left over after I die cut. So I would still use this for something. You know, that would be beautiful to put on the back side of a white cardstock or anything, and just to show you. So if I did it, see, that's what it would look like. And that's actually just left over from cutting this out. I'm going to use this right here though, because that's what somebody wanted, and I don't think either one of us realized. So here's what I was telling you with the die cuts. This was die cut out, and so all these brown ones here were die cut out, and you see they're solid. And here's the white for the star. So then you use a die cut then, and I cut out another color to go on top. Now this, we're doing gingerbread today and all. I can tell you right now, just looking at this, I could do different colors. I could cut out pink paper and put white on top. I could use silver and put on top. There's different choices. Okay, I'm missing my snowflake. Oh, here it is. You know, so there's choices. I mean, your snowflakes. I could easily do this in blue and put the white on top, or put silver on top. So there's other things you can do besides the gingerbread stuff. So I just wanted to show you that. So I'm actually chose to use white cardstock just to make all this really show up today. So I'm going to start with this basis here. and then we'll get to some of the other stuff. So the only stamping we're going to do with this here is the actual tag itself. As you can see, as I flip this over, this is what I told you a while ago, that you fussy cut these trees out of this paper, some beautiful paper. So this is going to actually be down. Oops, sorry. Let's see here. This is going to be down, because I try to keep it simple and step it up. Now see, looky here on that same paper here. Here's those other little circles I just cut out. It was left over from when I did the trees earlier. This one I'm having to use it because I needed the paper itself for this card. And again, this card here too, I haven't decided which way I'm going to want it to go, which direction. I have choices. I can either let it go this way or I can let it go this way. Don't know yet. I won't make that decision until I get ready to put the cookie looking, well, this is 0 calories. I can at least tell you that, Lord. It's 0 calories. See, looky there. It looks like a gingerbread cookie and it's 0 calories. Alright, this one I'm actually going to put on dimensionals, but I want to show you here, because originally I thought this was going to be red. This is where I'm actually going to put this lace looking stuff right here for the die cut. Because I want it to be able to show. I mean, I went through all the effort of die cutting it, so I want to be sure that it shows. So I am going to actually do it. So when I actually did this card, I had to make decisions, because it's beautiful paper. I wanted to see the paper. I knew I was going to do this because this is a request. And then this is going to go on top to make sure that you can be able to see that paper. So I wanted, there was no use cutting that all out if you can't see it. So you have to go and make sure that whatever you're going to put over here is going to be a little bit smaller. So I might even have to trim this a little bit more. That's okay. The most important thing I want out of this is that you're able to see this, because this is beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have to use some glue here. All right. That's the only way this is going to work. And that was the only thing. If I realized at the time this was going to do, you could have, you could easily sit up there and use, they have adhesive. You can do actually stick your paper to the adhesive and cut this out with the adhesive on back to the adhesive. I didn't do it because, number one, I didn't realize I needed to do that at the time. But this is just as easily, I can come and dab it along and put it on here. And that's all I'm going to do, because I want to be able to see this. It's beautiful. And I want it to end right there. And we're going to see how this other ends down here. So it's, see this, so I'll have to slide it, or I'll just have to cut it a little bit. Alright, but see, I want to be sure to see that. If I went through the effort to cut it, I want to be able to see it. Alright, so we might have to do some tweaking from originally what I thought. And that's okay. Because at the end of the day, it's, basically it's going to be a card that I wanted. And let's see if that's going to work. Yeah, that'll work. It's going to be a card I wanted. It's a card request that somebody else wanted to see. And it's going to work, and it's going to look pretty. And you know what? I can actually put bling on here. So if I leave enough space, I am the type of person that will go put bling on this opposite side on either every one of those things right here or every other one. I don't know. Okay, so I'm just going to put this right here. Like I said, I want to be able to see all this. Let's see here. See if I got it. I hope my glue didn't dry too fast on me. It may have. This stuff really dries quick. Okay. Let me redo that. I'll have to add some more to that. Jennifer, get after me for touching her screen. Thank you, Lourdes. Alright, let's see. Alright, it's not going to stick. Okay, I'm going to have to add more. It did right down there, but it's just not right up here. Okay, this stuff does dry fairly quick. I'll just put a little bit more on it this time, because you can see where it's there already. But it just dried, I wasn't quick enough. Okay, if I have to come back and touch that up, I will. Main thing is I just want to get it down. And that is true. If you're going to use adhesive and the glue and all, you just need to decide which one's going to dry quicker and which one you can work with. Now see, I'm hoping I got that time. Okay. Alright, so let's see what this is looking like right now. So if I put this down right now, this is sort of the look I'm getting. Alright, so I really want it to be a little bit less, okay? Because I want to be able to see this on both sides. Alright, because it's beautiful. So I want to be able to see this on both sides. And I don't have to do the top. I can do the top. I made enough to do the top. And Lourdes is there. We can see what Lourdes has to say. And Lourdes, you're the key decision maker today. See, I can come across here and I can hook up. And that looks very beautiful. Alright, so I'm most probably just going to have to suck it up, Buttercup, and do it. How does that sound? Sounds good? Alright, that's fine. That's fine, because it does look beautiful. Why go and make through the effort of the card if you're just not going to sit there and go ahead and let it be beautiful? Alright, so I'm just going to sit there and I'm going to hook up here. And it's going to actually come cross over here. I'll try to cut that off right about there so I still got my nice look. Yeah. So when you work with this, you might do some tweaking. So I might have to do some tweaking. But for the moment, I'm just going to go hook up here. And I'm going to come across here, and I might come under there and just tweak that one. A little tweaking here, a little tweaking there. Just want it to look like it's hooked up, okay? So it's just different for every one of us of how we like things. So I'm just going to come in here because I can. I'm just going to, thought I did. Let's see. Yeah. See, because it's still, I didn't do that little bitty detail, so it's still hanging loose there. Which is good, because now I can come and do this. So this you can see, when we do the simple, keep it simple and step it up. We start off really simple, and I'm just putting more glue here this time, because knowing it dries so fast, it absorbs into the paper. Hopefully give myself a little bit more leeway on time there to get it down the way I want it. I really like this. I think it's really cute. Okay, and I'm just going to put that there, and it's just going to cross over a little bit. See, I gotta keep it still just a little bit longer, or else I'm going to put more on it. Okay, so I got that there. I'm just going to trim it off here. And that's all you got to do. Alright, we're going to do the other end. Now this, you can see I got a lot longer, because I wasn't sure how much I was going to need. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and trim this off and see. I like it. Okay. And I'm going to start over here again. And yeah, I'm just going to trim that off right there. Okay. So this is no different than you're sewing or scrapbooking or anything else. It's the same thing. You know, if you were using lace, this just reminds me of just regular lace. Just paper instead of material, fabric stuff. Still beautiful, just like as if you put lace on something. And then I'm just going to hook that up there and get that all down. So that's just all out of the die cutting. Now, like I said, that was different than I expected. But see now, when I go to put it on here, I have choices still. But I will need to size this down. So if I really want to be able to see all of this, let's see what this would measure to. Let's see what I have to measure by. We already know. Well, let's find my little cheat sheet. Let's see what we've got on cheat sheets here. Let's see if we can find one that's small enough. So you can see the smallest cheat sheet I have to help me out and make decisions. So it doesn't even scale back enough. So if I really wanted this to fit in here, I'd have to scale this back down to most probably a 2 1/4 and a 3 1/2. Alright, let's see if we can do that. I do have my paper cutter, and we're going to scale this down to 2 1/2 by 3 1/4. Now I really wanted to use red ribbon somewhere. I didn't use red ribbon anywhere yet. I don't know where I would put it at yet. But I really would like some red ribbon. So I'm just going to size this down to, like I said, 2 1/4. We're just put this on 2 1/4. And I thought I had it sized down as small as I wanted earlier, and I'm just going to size it down. And then I'm going to take it down a 1/4 of more inch on my smallest scale that I had. So this is going to make this 3 1/2 inches. And that's how I use those little I call them cheat sheets. I don't know. They help me. I use them as a tool. It's just cheat sheets to help. We're visual people, and it's to help give us the visual effect. Alright, so now, looky there. Oh yeah. See how much better that is? That because I've sized it down now, you're really going to see all that work that I did with the lace there. And if I needed to trim something up, I could. And I'm actually going to put this up on, dimensionals. I'm going to put this up on dimensionals too, so that you can see what it looks like. It does look like lace. And it cuts like lace too. It's real fine when you go to pull it out of the die. So you have to remember that when you go and take this out of the die, it cuts it beautifully. But just keep in mind as you're poking this, as the stuff gets poked out, just don't, be nice to it. Don't think you're just going to yank it out or something, because you'll tear it. So just pull it out. It cuts it really nice. So it's delicate like regular lace. I'm actually going to put one in the middle here too, because I'm going to put the cookies on top. Alright. So I'm just going to center it because it still gives me choices. Alright. So this is where we get to make the choices, because I'm going to start off here just so we see our look. I could put those on now, but I really don't. I'm just going to mess around with it. So I could do it this way. I don't even have my green on yet, so I actually need to sort of get the green look on here so you can see. So here's what I'm going to have right here on top. So my choices are, definitely this is going to be in the middle and these are going to be in the back. So I can easily put these here, or however I want to do them, and stack them up. And that would look nice. I'd still get my lace look. Now if I wanted to turn my card the other way here, again, then I might just have them coming down like this. I'd have to touch that over just a little bit. Let's see if I wanted to add red ribbon, if that'd be too much or not. I just like the red ribbon. I just don't know if that's going to go with me today. I might try it again. I don't know, Lourdes, if you like the ribbon or not. I might could tie a ribbon to go on one of these. I think I'm going to do this. I wasn't going to do it this way. Originally, I didn't think, but I think I am now. So all I'm going to do is let's go ahead and get the rest of this stuff on here. I need to get this on. And I think I'm just going to, let's see here. Here's our choice. Whether we put the dimensional and put it up like this. And then put the cookie. I'm going to do that, because that way I can let the cookies hang off. I like that look. Alright, so we're just going to put dimensionals on this. Yes, some days I use dimensionals like they're going out of style. And other days I don't use hardly any dimensionals. So, it just depends on what I'm working with and whatever I feel like at the given moment. As you can tell. I can even change my mind. And I don't ever let somebody tell you that women change, women constantly change their minds. Men do too. So let's just get that in there on the record all the time. So, okay. Yeah, see, I'm going to really like that now. So now I'm just going to actually put a little tape back here. And, let me just go ahead and do that now. Because I'm going to do the other glue and it's really not going to matter. I just want to get it here where I can position it. And then I want to get this one here where I can position it, because I'm just going to do sort of like a waterfall stuff coming down, right? That's one I can put on a dimensional and put it up. This one I don't need to, because the fact that I've got the height and dimension here, but I will here to center that one. So I'm going to go ahead and get this one down before I change my mind on you. And I can just have it coming like this. That way it's just stuck right there. And I could put something to reinforce that later. I can, and that way I can do this one easily in the middle here. Okay, so I'm going to do this on a dimensional. Thank you, Lord. Alright. Okay, now, you know what? I was going to do this, but you know what? I really have to do these first, don't I? I do. Or I'm not going to be able to stick those down. Alright, that's okay. So again, I'm just going to hit the areas. If I had adhesive paper at the time and thought about it, I would have done the adhesive paper. So I'm just going to hit some highlight areas here where it's got more where I don't have to go and fine tune all the little lines, but it'll be enough to get this stuck on here for me, at least to get us through this here at the moment. Okay, and if I have to come back and do something different, I will. Should be able to stick that on there though. Okay. Yeah, it's like, don't like, you know, it's designed to help you get things on and stick it on. You don't have to worry about it. So I'm just gonna hold on that a second, so don't mess that up again. All right, now this one here is the snowflake, and again, I can just put the glue in the middle here and stick it on, and again, it's just gonna have a 3D effect with it. And there. Now see, I could easily put something in the middle of here. I don't know if something like this would look good on it. But we can see. Let me see this one here. And it would be very easy to use those little red acrylics. Find something in there that would work there as well. You know, it's just up to you. Maybe. I'll have to think on that one. I don't know if I'm that crazy about that. I'll think on it. I don't have to do anything right now. Alright, but at least I got those on. Now I'm going to put this one on here. And I'm just going to put this cookie on here just any way I want to. I'm just going to let it cross over. It's already making me want some cookies. I can smell that ginger already. Making those gingerbread cookies. Or I was making a little house. I can always smell those cookies. So yeah. Alright, I'm just going to stick that there a minute as well too. Now I do have some red sparkly stuff, but you know what? This isn't about all sparkle right now. This is just the whole gingerbread look. Okay? Now, so the only thing I'm lacking here is putting my tag on here. And so on this particular one, I had planned on using Sending You Peppermint Kisses. Now you can see that that color is not going to work as well. So what I will do is I will stamp, let's see, I have this right here too. Yep, wishing you Merry Christmas. Yep. So I'm going to do Sending You Peppermint Kisses, and I'm going to do it in red, because I think the red is going to look better. And see, a while ago it didn't look as good. We went with the green instead. But I think this one is going to look much better with the red. And we'll know in about just a second. And you'll be able to tell. Oh yeah, I think I'm going to like that. So see, looky here. Sending You Peppermint Kisses. And I'm going to fussy cut around this here. Ooh. See, I go back to covering up my lace. So I'm actually going to fussy cut around this. I'm going to actually sort of follow around here. This is sort of like, it depends how old you are. If you used to cut around the words that you drew with your markers and so forth and all. It sort of reminds me of the same thing. And we're just going to go around and we're just going to fussy cut around that and see how that gets out of just a nice little shape around the words without having to do anything else. And see, I don't like that little sharp point there, so I'll miss it. But see here, somebody asked the other day, how quick does the ink dry? Well, it dries pretty quick because you figure I just got the ink in this and doing that. Alright, so I like it. The only thing about it though is it really, really blends in. I could do it there, but it really blends in with the white. So I don't want to do this, but let's see if we can do this here. Well, we can do it this way. Let's see if we like it this way. Alright, we're going to improvise, do this a little different than I expected. And if it really bothers me, I can go back later and change it out. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and do this here. I wanted to use this anyway. I just didn't necessarily plan on using it right now. But I can do that. I'm just going to cut. And if I have to trim a little bit more, I will. Let's see how we're going to like this here. I think it'll be okay. Let's see here. Okay, now see how that makes it really pop? So just doing it by itself, you just really can't see it. And I actually have my paper cutter here, so I'm just gonna tweak it a little bit here, because I didn't need any mush off, but just a little bit. And see what I do with it? I just cut it off a little bit there. Oh yeah, I like that much better. So I am just going to sit up here and put a little bit of tape on this end, so I can put it down there. And then I'm going to actually use a large dimensional down here, because I've got the gap there. You can see I've got the different heights, and I might have to do two, but we'll see. And then that's all. I'm just going to tuck it under. I'm just going to tuck it under a little bit there. I got my tape there, and there's our card. And you know what? If we wanted to give it a little sparkle, all I have to do is take my Wink of Stella again, and I can put some Wink of Stella right here around the kisses. Now see, to be careful, because if you go and touch the red ink, you see you can easily cause that to smear a little bit. Just depends if you want to or not. I wasn't trying to, but I did a little bit. So just keep in mind, if you did want it to blend a little bit, like I did there on the edges there, I could. And I'm picking up that color straight from the ink itself that I inked. All right, so there you go. Here's our third card. So we started out simple. I know it's hard to believe we started out simple. Oops, I just knocked off Curious George. All right, so here's where we started simple. I didn't finish it off. I just wasn't going to put all those little ones down right now. Here's our Stepping It Up card, and then and we did put Wink of Stella there on it. And then we stuck it up, we stood here and stepped it up a lot here by adding layers, by doing all the die cutting, and doing this lace right here. So I just wanted with that, there's many more things we could have done. There's many more things that we could have done today, because there's so much paper, and we didn't get to the stenciling. That's what I was trying to think of earlier with the word stencil, because they actually have stencils that come with this suite as well, that we could have actually taken that glitter paste and put in there and given some different looks as well. But I'll just have to do that on another, just a YouTube most probably by itself, to show you how that's done, because there's so many different papers with this suite and this paper set period, that you have so many choices that it's hard to make decisions. But with that, I want to thank you for joining in. Thank you, Lourdes, for the comments. And I'll see you next week. I want you to keep in mind, we do have posted right now where you can register for the fall retreat that is on October the 30th. So be sure to sign up, because it is limited spacing. And then we also have a ladies retreat that's coming up on the 23rd, which is a Saturday. It's not a ladies retreat, it's a ladies night out. We'll be making some cards from the kids. And then on that Sunday, we'll be doing Zoe and Anna stamping. So we got a lot of things going on, as well as doing the weekly stuff. So we just hope that you join in and sign up for the retreat. And if you want to join the ladies' night out, let us know that as well too. As things fill up, we do limit the number of people at actual physically inside. And then when we do the stuff online, like with the retreat, we do have a limit, but at least we have more that can come than just inside of a location like a house or whatever. All right, so thank you. Have a very adventuresome and blessed week, and go create something. All right, see you next week. Bye.